Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about 5.3 multiplying fractions and mixed numbers. We're going to be multiplying those numbers together. I hope you are excited and ready to go. Okay, there are 5 warm-ups today, and what I want you to do is I want you to write each number as an improper fraction. Improper fraction. Let's see if you can do it. Pause now. Check these out. All right, now that you have them all finished, let's check your answers. Again, remember, when we are looking at mixed numbers, we're putting them as an improper fraction, we multiply going down, and we add coming up. So if I look at 2 and 1/3, I am multiplying 2 times 3 plus 1, I get 7, and I keep my denominator of 3. So my answer is 7/3. Moving on to the second one, multiply 1 times 8. Add 7, I get 15/8. The answer for number 3 is going to be 17/5. 3 times 5 is 15, plus 2 is 17. Keep the same denominator. I move on to the next one. 20/3 is going to be 6 2/3, and 5 3/8 is going to be equal to 43/8. Again, this is all review. Multiply going down, add coming up. Know that you will be doing this a little bit in the lesson. And here we go, nitty gritty of it. Okay, so our objective today is going to be multiplying fractions and mixed numbers. What I want you to do on this first one, I want you to write this down. And what we're going to do is I'm going to just kind of show you and walk you through these couple of problems. If you would like to pause this slide, you can try to figure out the answers and see if you come up with the correct answers. If not, I will walk you through these first two. Okay, so if I'm looking at 2/3 and I'm looking at 4/5, when multiplied together, whenever you multiply two fractions, you take the numerator times the numerator, going across there, denominator times denominator. Now, before you multiply, though, what I want you to do is I want you to look at your numerators and I want you to look at your denominators and see if there's a common factor. Remember common factor from last chapter. See if there's a common factor between any numerator and any denominator. But that has to be a numerator and a denominator. It cannot be two numerators and it cannot be two denominators. So I'm looking at 2/3 times 4/5. Can 2 be, does it have a factor, a common factor with either 3 or 5? No, it does not. So I move on to my next numerator. Does 4 have a factor or common factor between 3 and 5? They do not either. So when I multiply this, I'm going to multiply straight across. 2 times 4 is going to be 8 over 3 times 5 is 15. And notice when I do that, because there wasn't a common factor between those two numbers, my answer is going to be in simplest form already, which is 8/15. Excellent. Okay, let's check out the second one. I have 5/18 times 6/13. Again, remember, I'm going to be multiplying straight across, but before I multiply, I'm going to see if there's a common factor between a numerator and a denominator. So if I look at the numerator 5, okay, I'm focused on 5 here. Does 5 have a common factor with 18 or 13? Nope. Common factor or factors of 5 are going to be 1 and 5, and 5, there's not a 5 that can divide 18 and 13 evenly. How about 6? I'm focusing on 6 now. Is there a factor that goes into 6 that is a common factor with 18 or 13? Yeah, there is. Okay, if I look at the number 6 and 18, okay, those both share a common factor of 6. Okay, so when I have a common factor between those two, I divide by 6. So I take 6 divided by 6, and I get 1. And then I take 18 divided by 6, and I get 3. Okay, and I'm going to show you why this does. Okay, now that I'm done, I have 5 times my 1 going across here, because remember, this is going to be my new numerator, because I just reduced a little bit, and 3 times 13, my answer is going to be 5 over 39. Now, when I look at this, that's in simplest form. Okay, so that's already in simplest form. So I'm just going to have a 5/39 in simplest form. So I'm just going to kind of write this up here, and I'm going to show you why this works. If I look at this, and I'm going to erase all of this work that I just did, and I'm going to start with this problem all over again. Okay, remember, I got 5/39. If I just took this and I multiplied straight across here, okay, I will get 30 over, and 18 times 13 is 234. Okay, from here I'm gonna know I I can divide. I know I can divide both of these, okay, by 2. And the reason why I know I can divide both of them by 2 is because they're even numbers. I get 15 over 117. Okay, I look at 117 and I look at 15, and actually there's another common factor, which is going to be 3. Okay, if I take 15 divided by 3 and 117 divided by 3, I get 5/39. Okay, notice I got 5/39 at the end. What did I get on my last one? 5/39 there. Okay, so what I did was, before in that first equation that I showed you, I simplified early. Okay, I simplified my numbers early. But the second time, I simplified at the end. Okay, so it all depends on how your brain works, and it doesn't matter if it works simplifying early or simplifying later. It doesn't matter. As long as you come up with the correct answer, I will take either way. Okay, so I want you to now try a couple on your own. Okay, so let's see how we do with these. Now, remember, what is the denominator? If you think you know what it is, what is the denominator on a whole number? Once you have that, see if you can solve. Give her a shot. Okay, so now I have whole numbers. That doesn't change anything. Okay, what's my denominator on a whole number? Always over 1. All my whole numbers are over 1. If I look at 17, 17 is equal to 17 over 1. If I look at 43, 43 is equal to 43 over 1. If I look at 1,374, that is the same thing in fraction form as 1,374 over 1. If I look at 93,274,936,427, in fraction form, it's going to be whatever that number was over 1. That was a long number. I couldn't remember it. Okay, whatever that number is over 1. So, look at whole numbers. It's 8 over 1. From here, I look at that 8. Is there a common factor between 8 and 1 and 7? There is not. Look over at 6. Is there a common factor between 6, 1, and 7? There is not. So I'm going to multiply straight across, and I get 48/7. I'm going to simplify this, though. I'm going to put this as a mixed number. So when I put this as a mixed number, remember, I take 48 divided by 7, and whatever my remainder is, it's going to be my new numerator. So 7 goes into 48 6 times, not twice. What's going on here, Mr. Sheeman? Come on. 6 times 4 is 42. Subtract, I get 6. I get 6 and 6/7. So my answer, 6 and 6/7. Awesome. This next one, 12. As a fraction, what is 12? It's always 12 over 1. I'm really hoping that you did 12 over 1. Okay, looking at this, does 12 have a common factor between 1 and 8? It does. 12 and 8 have common factors. What's the common factor between 12 and 8? The largest common factor between them, also known as the GCF. Okay, the answer is 4. So if I can divide each number by 4, I end up with 3 on the top, and I end up with 2 on the bottom. Because 3 times 4 is 12, 2 times 4 is 8. Multiplying this now straight across, numerator times numerator, denominator times denominator, I get 9 over 2. Man, that is an ugly 9. I guess there was a little tail there. I don't know what that was. Okay. So now I'm going to divide 9 by 2. When I do such a thing and do that wonderfully and do it correctly, I will get 4 and 1/2. Okay? So you're taking and you're multiplying the numerator times numerator, denominator times denominator, but after, well, you can do it before, but you can also look to see if there are common factors between the numerator and the denominator. All right? Next. All right, here's the last one of the day. It says multiply. Simplify if possible. Simplify if possible. Okay, so I want you to do this. Give this one a shot. See what you come up with. See if you can come up with the correct answer. I want you to try this right away. Pause now. Okay, so now what I'm looking at 2 and 5 1/3. What operation is happening between them? I am multiplying. These parentheses mean I am multiplying between them. Also, it says that wonderful word, multiply, right there. Hey! Okay, so I am taking 2 times 5 1/3. And one thing that we did in the past, in our warm-ups, is we created an improper fraction from a mixed number. And that's what we're going to do to start out this one. Because if we look in the previous slide, remember, our previous slide stated that we knew how to multiply times a whole number, but now we're going to multiply a mixed number times a whole number. No, let's put this into improper fractions. Okay, so as an improper fraction, I'm going to multiply going down, add going up. So my new equation is going to be 2 times 16/3. Okay, so if I look at that, I'm going to multiply straight across, but what's my denominator of 2? It is always over 1. Is there a common factor between 2 and any denominator? Nope. Is there a common factor between 16 and a denominator? Nope. So if I multiply straight across, I will get 32 over 3. 32 over 3. I'm not done, though, because remember this wonderful thing that says simplify if possible. Guess what? It's possible. Okay, it's possible. So if you look at this, I can take 3 into 32. Goes in there 10 times. My remainder is going to be 2. And my denominator is 3. So my final answer is 10 2/3. Okay? If you have questions, make sure you ask. Anything else? Good. I didn't hear any questions. If you actually have questions, though, in all seriousness, make sure you ask tomorrow. Make sure you let me know if you have any questions about this, and we will cover it. Okay? I hope you all have a great day. Continue to have a great day, because I'm sure you had a great morning. Is your homework. You have 2 through 28 evens, 39 through 44 all. What I want you to do is I want you to make sure you show your work. Whether you simplify beforehand, well, it's in an equation like this, times 2/5, this type of a thing, where you can simplify this into something like that. If you can simplify there, or you can simplify at the very end by breaking it down, dividing. Either way, make sure you show your work. All right? Have a wonderful day.